Hello everyone. My name is Madison Peters. My pronouns are she and her, and I'm a member of the Student Recruitment and Admissions team at the Mississauga campus. I'm also a very proud U of T Mississauga graduate. Thank you for joining us today to learn more about the University of Toronto. In this session, I'm going to share some of the unique features of the Mississauga campus and highlight information for you to be aware of as you consider applying to U of T Mississauga. So today I'm also joined by a few of my colleagues from the recruitment and admissions team at UTM. Alicia, who is one of our recruitment officers, and 5 of our amazing UTM student ambassadors will also be available to assist with questions that are posted in the Q&A function. Some of our questions will be answered during the presentation, and we'll also leave some time at the end of our session for us to address any additional questions. 3 of our student ambassadors, Neha, Anas, and Wen, will also be joining me on screen in a little bit to share some of their experiences at UTM with all of you. Please note that while we'll try to answer as many questions as possible, we will inevitably not get to all of your questions today, but we'll also provide an opportunity for you to engage with us after this session, and we'll provide contact information so that you can continue to connect with us over the coming months. All right, so let's jump in. So by now, you're likely aware that the University of Toronto is Canada's top university, and we have an incredible reputation for our academics, faculty, and research. We're also consistently ranked as one of the world's best universities, so you know that your U of T degree can take you anywhere after graduation. You may also be aware that the University of Toronto is one university, but with 3 distinct campuses. You may wonder what this means. Well, as the largest university in Canada, you have the most choice. And one of those choices is the unique learning environment that you choose to study at. All 3 U of T campuses offer the same high-quality education with the resources that come from being part of Canada's premier university. And all of our campuses offer our students everything that they need, from academic support to student life. The key point to remember is that when you graduate, you're earning a U of T degree, regardless of the campus you choose. So let's talk a bit more about U of T Mississauga, affectionately referred to as UTM. UTM is located about a half-hour west of downtown Toronto in the city of Mississauga, which is Canada's 7th largest city. It's located on the traditional land of the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, and the Mississaugas of the Credit. Today, this meeting place is still the home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, and as a community, we are grateful to have the opportunity to work and live on this land. UTM is a mid-sized campus with about 16,000 undergraduate students. It's located on 225 acres of gorgeous greenbelts nestled along the Credit River. UTM is also home to many new buildings and state-of-the-art facilities. Our vision is to foster a culture of sustainability and to become a world leader in sustainable practice. For example, U of T Mississauga's new science building, which is now under construction and slated for completion in 2023, will set a new standard for green design. The building, which will be home to the Center for Medicinal Chemistry, our forensic science program, wet labs, and a computing data center, will be one of the most energy efficient biological and chemical laboratory facilities in North America. Now, to help you determine if UTM may be a good fit for you, let me share with you why some of our students choose UTM. By taking your learning outside of the classroom and bridging theory to practical use, you'll find U of T caliber academic programs combined with unique experiential learning, both paid and for credit options available throughout our programs at UTM. We also offer a wide breadth of unique and dynamic program offerings. Our students can choose from over 180 programs in over 90 different areas of study. We're a traditionally enclosed campus, which means that at UTM, you'll receive an intimate, personalized campus experience while at Canada's largest university, and everyone on our campus is connected to the university. The essence of the Mississauga campus is our active and social campus community, which is inclusive and engaging, and we really try to have our students be able to find a home here. We meet you where you are, academically, emotionally, and mentally, helping you thrive throughout your studies and after you graduate. And by providing groundbreaking programming and welcoming students from across the globe, we also nurture cultural diversity and help our students build a global fluency. Our students not only have access to all the benefits of being part of the University of Toronto, but also the unique advantages that come with our unique connection to the city of Mississauga. The city of Mississauga mixes urban, suburban, and natural living. Mississauga is a culturally diverse and well-planned city with vibrant business, sports, and arts communities. Mississauga is actually also home to 75 of Canada's Fortune 500 companies, making it a hub of research, innovation, and entrepreneurship in itself. The diversity of the region is also reflected in our student population. Currently at UTM, over 40% of our students are citizens of countries outside of Canada, representing over 130 different countries around the world. And you can find our over 69,000 UTM alum living and working in 113 different countries. This diversity of experiences and culture makes studying at UTM and in the Mississauga area truly special. So now let's talk a bit more about what our students can study. At U of T Mississauga, we offer arts, science, and business programs. And our students have the flexibility to pair programs of study within these three core areas to create an undergraduate degree and an academic experience that is as unique as they are. When you apply to UTM, you will be asked to choose one of our 12 admission categories. You can think of these categories as your starting point at UTM. This is your entry point into the university, and it provides you with access to the first year courses in whatever area you think you are most interested. It's important to note, however, that there is flexibility. You can still choose courses outside of your admission category in first year. As you continue on into your second year at UTM, you will be asked to choose your programs of study or your subject posts. Students have three general options available when designing their degree. Students can choose one specialist, or two majors, or one major and two minors. The main difference between these options is the amount of focus that you're putting on one or more areas of study. A specialist typically consists of 9 to 16 credits, a major consists of about 6 to 9 credits, and a minor is typically between 3 to 4 credits. To complete your undergraduate degree, you need to complete a total of 20 credits. While some of our programs are a little bit more competitive, are more specialized in nature, or may have more limited enrollment, many of our programs pair easily and well with other areas of study. Students have a lot of choice and the opportunity for creativity when combining program areas to choose their subject posts. And you'll hear more about this ability to mix and match from our student ambassadors shortly. So ultimately, our undergraduate students gain a strong foundation in arts, science, and business, all with the depth and breadth and rigor that a modern comprehensive campus offers, steeped in the rich scholarly tradition of one of the world's best research universities. Where can an undergraduate degree from UTM take you? Really, the sky is the limit. Our programs provide an excellent foundation for both further education, such as grad or professional programs and schools, and you can also provide a gateway to endless career opportunities. If you want to learn more, you should download our program plans, which include quick and accessible overviews of the many different academic and co-curricular opportunities available in every area of study at UTM. The University of Toronto Mississauga also has a few additional degree options for our students. We offer a number of combined degree programs that allow students to be registered in 2 degrees, one undergraduate and one graduate at the same time. Our combined degree programs currently include a combined Honors Bachelor of Arts in Environmental Management or an Honors Bachelor of Science in Environmental Science with a Master's of Sustainability Management. We also have a combined option with our Honors Bachelor of Science Psychology program and a Master's of Art in Child Study and Education. Our new certificate programs at UTM, completed concurrently with an undergraduate degree, enrich students' understanding of the concepts they learn in class and help them strengthen their skills for today's economy. Certificate programs are offered in advanced economics, curatorial studies, digital media, communication and technology, effective business practices and leadership skills, and global perspectives. Also unique to UTM are the Art and Art History and Theatre and Drama Studies programs that are offered jointly between the University of Toronto, Mississauga and Sheridan College in Oakville. Students in these programs take classes at both campuses and earn both a degree and a diploma in 4 years of study. At UTM, we know that not all learning takes place in the classroom. So whether you want to land your dream job, conduct groundbreaking research, or start your own business, we can help get you there. The Research Opportunity Program, or ROP at U of T, lets you work one-on-one with the university's leading faculty members on cutting-edge research projects while earning academic credit. And you can start these projects as early as your second year. Our experiential education unit aims to enrich the undergraduate educational experience of our students by promoting and nurturing unique opportunities and approaches to learning both inside and outside of the classroom. So many of our different academic programs at UTM offer various types of experiential learning or learning by doing. And this could include things like academic internships, project-based research, field experiences, or domestic and international community engagement. Our Career Center at UTM is ranked amongst the top 5 career centers in Canada, offering several ways to explore your career options. You can meet with a career counselor one-on-one to help you get to know yourself and what career options might work for you, or you can speak directly with employers at our career fairs and networking events. iCube is a hub for idea exploration, early stage business development, and co-working at UTM. In 2021, for example, over $3 million in revenue were generated by 87 of our startup teams through our iCube Accelerator. By providing groundbreaking programming and welcoming students from across the globe, we nurture cultural diversity and help our students build a global fluency. We encourage students to take their learning outside of UTM by exploring one of our international opportunities. U of T in general has over 140 partner institutes in 40 countries globally, so students can choose to study on exchange somewhere else around the world. And at UTM specifically, we have over 25 different research destinations for our students, and we offer over 150 different international opportunities and projects. Community is really the essence of UTM. Our campus is a place where debate is encouraged and diversity is celebrated. To ensure a successful and fulfilling university experience, we have a variety of different support services that will help you sharpen your skills, make new friends, and maintain your physical and mental well-being. There's also over 140 different student groups and societies at UTM, so there really is something for everyone. We also offer an excellent on-campus living experience. The University of Toronto Mississauga Department of Student Housing and Residence Life provides facilities that are safe and secure, well-maintained, and competitively priced within the GTA. Informed by research and assessment, we offer innovative programs and services that enhance student learning and development while living on campus in one of our student residences. At UTM, we have 8 different areas of residences made up of both townhouses and apartment style. And these areas offer both single and double rooms. Each area also serves different student demographics, which aid students in their transition to campus life at U of T. To support your transition from high school to university, your residence education facilitator, or REF, and your DON, who are upper year student mentors, live nearby to help answer questions, lead seminars, plan social events, and plan study sessions. Our first year communities make it easy to get to class, review notes, and study for exams with your neighbors and your roommates. At UTM, we also offer students and residents the opportunity to live in one of our living learning communities, or LLCs, which help to enrich their residents' experience. In our different LLCs, students live with other students who share either similar interests and an area of study and are often enrolled in at least one course together. To learn more about housing at UTM, I encourage you to visit utm.utoronto.ca/housing. Our student affairs and student services at UTM aim to support our students both inside and outside of the classroom and help them to create a personalized student experience that establishes a sense of belonging. Our Office of the Registrar supports students from admission all the way to graduation. So offering services related to admissions, alternate pathways to university, academic planning and advising, financial aid and scholarship support, and general guidance. Our Center for Student Engagement provides opportunities for student involvement, leadership, and community engaged learning. Accessibility services provide academic accommodations and services to students who have a disability and/or who may require additional support with their learning. Our Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Office works with students to promote an equitable and inclusive campus environment by providing equity, Indigenous, and human rights related programs and services. And our International Education Center coordinates all of UTM's learning abroad opportunities, but also provides a lot of additional support specifically for our international students. By offering immigration support, transition coaching, career counseling, health support, and intercultural workshops, they support our international students from pre-arrival, from the time of admission, all throughout their degree at UTM. Okay, so now that we've had a chance to talk a little bit about why you should consider U of T Mississauga, let's talk a bit more about how you can apply to UTM. Hopefully you were able to tune into the general U of T presentation earlier on, where you would have learned a bit about the application process. So we will go into a very general overview of our admissions. For admission to UTM, we're looking for the equivalent of a high school diploma with strong senior level results, particularly in prerequisite subjects. Conditional offers of admission will be made based on your previous year grades and your in-term or midterm results if available. We also do accept students transferring from other post-secondary institutions, so colleges and universities both within and outside of Canada, for the majority of our programs. You can visit utm.utoronto.ca/apply for more information about our admission requirements based on your most recent or previous studies. In our viewbook and on our website, you will find more information about the prerequisites that we require for different program areas. So you can use this to help determine which courses we will be requiring and looking very closely at for admission. We do also include our grade ranges that we consider students at for our different program areas. Please note these are minimum starting points, so I always do encourage students to aim a little bit higher than what we post here. Another important thing to note about UTM is that we are primarily grades only when it comes to admission. So most of our programs are only looking at your grades for consideration. The one exception to this is our Theater and Drama Studies program, which does require an audition in order to be considered. And here's a timeline of some of the important application dates and deadlines. After you've applied to UTM through the Ontario University Application Centre website, you will receive access to an online portal called Join U of T, where you'll be able to track the status of your application with us. We always encourage students to keep a close eye on their Join U of T applicant website for any other required document that you may need to submit, such as English proficiency test results or other details that we may need from you in order to consider your application. At UTM, the majority of our admission decisions are released in regular rounds, starting from February and onward to May. And for more information about our admission requirements, please visit uoft.me/apply and make sure that you read through our viewbook online, which you can find at utm.utoronto.ca/viewbook. So this has a lot more information as well as all of our admission requirements. All right, so that wraps up my portion or introduction to UTM. And now I want to take the remainder of our time to introduce you to 3 of our UTM student ambassadors. And they're going to share with you about how they chose UTM and how they have found their experiences at UTM so far. And then we will also have the chance for questions. So I'm going to stop sharing and invite them to come onto screen. Wonderful. So hi, everyone. Okay, so maybe I'll turn it over just based on who's on my screen. Anas, do you want to go first?
Yeah, of course. So, hi everyone. My name is Inas, and I'm from the UAE. I'm currently in my second year doing a specialist in computer science, and I personally chose UTM because of all of the academic and career growth opportunities that it provides in my field. I also really like how diverse and active UTM's community is. And my favorite course is one that I'm currently taking. It's called CSE 207 Software Design. And when it comes to my involvement on campus, I'm a member of several different clubs, and I'm a marketing associate of the Google Developer Student Club. And a piece of advice I would give to students is to start your application early, plan ahead, and meet your deadlines, and to remember that whatever happens at the end is usually in your best interest.
Great, thank you so much. And maybe we'll turn it over to Neha.
Hi everyone, I'm Neha, so I'm from Mississauga. I'm going into my fourth year in criminology, sociology, and forensic science. So I'm doing a double major in criminology and sociology and a minor in forensic science. I chose UTM not only because it's very close to my house, but also I love the campus. The campus has a lot of study spots available for students to study individually, within groups. Also, the staff and faculty are very nice and very helpful at all times. The program of study that I chose is criminology, sociology, and forensic science. And I chose this because I am generally interested in the field, and I feel like it's very interesting to me. And I love finding out the behind the scenes of I watch a lot of shows, and so it's really interesting to see the behind the scenes of crime-related shows, and especially within forensics, like behind the scenes of the labs and things like that. In terms of involvement on campus, I was actually a part of a few clubs last year, and I am also this year. So there's a lot of club opportunities available for students to be a part of. One of the clubs I'm involved in right now is UTM Miscarriage of Justice. So I'm a VP of Outreach for that club this year. It's very interesting to look at different cases, and we also have a lot of upcoming events. In terms of piece of advice that I would give to prospective students when applying, do your research. I would say definitely do your research and make sure that you meet the requirements when applying, just so you can ensure that there aren't any complications ahead.
Great, thank you. And Wen, we'll pass it over to you.
Thank you, and thank everyone for coming here. Hi, my name is Wen. I'm currently a third-year student. I'm from the US, New Jersey to be exact. I'm a third year specializing in commerce finance as well as economics major. I chose UTM mostly because its environment is a very suburban environment. For me, it's like a home away from home, so to speak. I chose commerce finance because I wasn't really sure what to do for the first year. I changed my program roughly about 4 times. Eventually, finance just clicked for me. My favorite course here at UTM is Business Finance 1. So that's MGT 201. It really gave me like a step into the door into the finance world, and it gave me the tools that are necessary to do analysis as well as all the Excel business related. Sorry. My involvement on campus will be, I'm currently the outreach director for IBA, which is Innovative Business Association. It's the largest academic society here at UTM for the business students. Yeah, and I really love the role I play, such as I manage my own team, as well as I communicate with the rest of the group about what we do on a weekly basis. Piece of advice I would give for students during this time will be trust your instinct. You're gonna end up somewhere great, so go with your gut in some situations. And thank you.
Wonderful, thank you all. So we will now open it up to questions if anyone has questions for our student ambassadors that they can answer. And I see Alicia's coming on screen as well. So Alicia will help to feed some of the questions that are maybe coming through the chat or anything that we've received so far.
Hi, everyone. My name is Alicia Singh, and as Madison mentioned, I am one of the recruiters here at U of T. I am also a recent alumni, so it's great to see that we have a lot of U of T representation here. So the chat has been very busy, so I do have a lot of questions ready for everyone. So I'm going to start off with the first question. I'm going to open up to all the panelists, so we'll go in order of Inas, Neha, and then Wen. And I'd love to understand what made you choose to study at UTM, because there are 3 campuses, and you are going to earn the U of T degree regardless of which campus you studied at. So what made you direct your decision towards this specific campus?
All right, so I guess I can go first. So personally, I chose UTM because of its, like, out of the 3 campuses, because of its location. I think Mississauga was pretty convenient for me because I had family and friends here that were previously living here. And in general, UTM is just as good as the other 2 campuses. It provides the same academic and career growth opportunities. It has a really nice sense of community. So at the end, location was like the pushing factor for me choosing UTM.
For me, I would say kind of similar. So I do live in Mississauga, so it's very close to my house. I also love the campus, and I had a lot of my friends from high school also go in here. So it's like a sense of community in that way, but also I made a lot of new friends too. So for personally, I would just say it was mainly the location, just because it was very convenient because I was close by. But the other 2 campuses are also very lovely. I visited them as well. But yeah, that was just my personal preference.
Sorry. And for me, I chose UTM because I was in an odd position. I want to go somewhere far away from home. At the same time, I still want to feel at home. So UTM, suburban lifestyle, close community. That's why I chose UTM.
Amazing. Now, since we are all talking about how we're really close to UTM, I would love, Neha, for example, if you don't mind going into a little bit detail about the UPass and the shuttle bus and what kind of perk that has to offer for students who are looking to commute to campus.
Yeah, for sure. So the UPass is a My Way bus pass with no additional cost, where you can use it on My Way Transit, only Mississauga, as long as you're enrolled in for that session. So you just show your T card, your UPass, and you're able to ride it with no additional cost up until the end of the session date. And then the shuttle bus also is a no additional cost ride from the UTM campus to the St. George campus and back. So the schedules are posted for that as well online. You can just search them up. They're usually every hour. And you're able to take classes at different campuses. So if you take a course at St. George, you're able to take the shuttle bus from UTM to St. George directly.
Amazing, thank you. So I'm going to direct a question over to you, Madison, first. And that is, are students able to pursue co-op opportunities at UTM, or are there any specific ways that they can get experiential learning?
Yeah, for sure. So we mentioned the experiential education unit, and they really do have lots of resources for students in exploring different ways to kind of take what they're learning in the classroom and apply that to something more practical or get that hands-on experience. And so like we said, there's different opportunities that students can do that on campus. So things like research opportunity program or in-course internship opportunities. But then there is also the opportunity to kind of go outside of UTM and explore internships that may happen in the industry as well. So there's definitely that option available for the majority of our program areas in the arts, sciences, and businesses as well. Does any student have anything that they want to share with regards to experiential learning?
Yeah, I can share something. So I'm studying computer science, right? And we have something called PEY, which is the professional experience here. So after my second year, in the summer between my second and third year, I get to have a work term in any company of my choice. After, obviously, there's a whole application process, and I can also I also have a 12 to 16-month work placement after my third year. So you get to get industry experience alongside your academics.
That's amazing. So I have also left a link about PEY in the chat. So if anytime you are looking to gain more information, feel free to check out the chat to reference these links. It will go into a lot more detail. And now I'm going to move on over to Wen. So Wen, I wanted to understand, how is it like transitioning between different programs? I know students are often afraid that once they choose a program, they're stuck in it forever. So do you mind talking a little bit more about your experience and how that was like?
Yeah, of course. So when choosing different programs, so first year you're in streams, in a program study. So you can take all the classes you want to in order to meet the prerequisite for the post program. So as such, you can get around to explore different programs. I have explored computer science, digital enterprise management, economics, and commerce. Each program is very different from one from another. At the same time, you got to like expand your horizon. So there's no really like you're stuck with one program. You can just go whatever your heart desires, really.
That's perfect. So myself as well, I switch programs a lot. So never think that you're stuck in something forever. You can definitely switch between different disciplines. Now, I have a question over for you, Neha. And a lot of folks are wanting to understand, what is it like to study forensic science and criminology? Do you mind going into a little bit of detail of what it's like to be pursuing both programs?
Yeah, for sure. So within criminology, there are some theory courses, especially first and second year, and then they do get more specified. So you can learn about youth justice, you can learn about policing, you can learn about like field of law in general. So it does get like there is a variety of like different like areas to study within criminology and like the courses that are offered. In terms of forensic science, so I'm doing a minor. The minor is different from majors and specialists. The minor does focus mostly on like the law field and the courtroom. So it does focus on the behind the scenes, but also how it's played out in the courtroom, evidence, processing, things like that. So it's not like too heavy on science, but it does incorporate some of the sciences, like some of like the chemistry, physics, and bio, and the courses offered.
If you are looking also for a deeper dive to just better understand each program, I've also linked something called a program spotlight. So we've kind of gone in depth with different faculties and departments to just be able to understand what is it like to study each program from your first year up until you graduate. Now, Inas, I have a question for you, and that is, since you are an international student, do you mind talking about what was your experience like coming over to Canada to study here? And if you did use any of the support systems that we do have available on campus, like the International Education Center, for example, and kind of what that experience was like for you?
Right. So it was my first time moving away from family. So that was definitely a pretty big step in my life. And I moved all the way from across the globe. So getting used to the weather was a very big thing. So I came from a very hot country. So getting used to I've never experienced winter before until I came here. So that was something very big. And just getting used to learning how to live alone, learning how to cook, getting used to that independent lifestyle was a pretty big factor. But other than that, I think the community of Mississauga and UTM has been very welcoming. So I've adjusted pretty fast, actually. And I feel like the people here are really, really nice. I have easily found people I could click with, connect with. And I think UTM's resources have also been very helpful. They hold so many events where you get to meet other people, you get to meet other international students, as well as the International Education Center, or International Experience Center. But they also have a lot of opportunities where you get to meet other international students, and they also help you out with adjusting to a new country. So I think my experience has been pretty well, and I'm very glad I came here.
That's very good to hear. So as Madison also mentioned in her presentation, we do have a very diverse student body as well. And we really, really strive to make sure we have your representation on campus through clubs, whether that's through special interests, cultures, religions, and so forth. So we're very welcome. We're very, very happy to have a very welcoming and very diverse student body. Now, since you are someone who is heavily involved in extracurriculars, do you want to talk a little bit about how it was like to pursue extracurriculars while also having a full-time course load?
Yeah, of course. So extracurricular, most of student societies start hiring in the summertime. So I kept an eye out on the Instagram page. So Instagram is a great resource for clubs and as well as student societies reach out to the general population. So I applied, and yeah, it's definitely definitely difficult to keep a full course load as well as a work study as well as extracurricular. But if you plan your time well and you know how much time you want to spend on each activities, it's very doable. And you get to network, meet new friends, speak with your professors, and interact with all these wonderful networking events. So yeah, overall, it's definitely doable. It's definitely fun, and I do highly encourage for everyone to just try the extracurricular activities here on campus.
In addition to extracurriculars, we also do have something called the work study program, which allows our students to actually work while they are studying. And that's currently what our students Inas, Neha, and Wen are doing right now. They're part of our work study program. So Wen, do you want to just go into a little bit detail just also about kind of how you found out about the work study program and applying for a role here?
Yeah, of course. So I started out by volunteering for the student recruitment mission as a tour ambassador. And over time, like in some time, I heard that they were hiring, so we have a little very nice workshop. So on the CLNX, which is our internal job website, I found a work study position that was open in August, and I applied. Went through an interview with our wonderful supervisors, and yeah, here I am.
Thank you. Now, Madison, I have a question over for you because we do have some students who are interested in applying to all 3 campuses. So are they going to be considered for all 3 campuses at the same time that they apply, or is there a ranking system where they're only going to be preferred for one program over the other?
Great question. So you are able to apply to multiple programs at U of T, and you can apply to up to 3 different campuses or faculties if you're interested. One thing to note is you can only apply to 1 program per campus or faculty. You do have the opportunity to kind of rank your preferences within U of T, and sometimes we will consider you for your first choice first, but generally speaking, you will be considered for all the applications that you submit to U of T. So as long as you're academically qualified, you could potentially receive multiple offers to U of T as well.
And while we're also on that, can I also ask you, are students able to take courses at other campuses if they're registered at UTM?
Great question. And we can maybe pass it over to our students as well to jump in on this one. But yes, students at UTM are able to take classes at the University of Toronto elsewhere as well. So many of our students will choose to take some of especially their elective courses at the other campuses. We do have a shuttle bus for UTM students that goes directly to the St. George campus. So students can really use that as a way to easily get to the St. George campus if they're interested in taking classes, and also exploring the other services that are available at U of T. So all the libraries, athletic facilities, everything like that as well. When I was a student, I took classes, I was a UTM student, but took classes at the St. George campus as well. Are any of our current students, any of you taking classes elsewhere, or have you taken classes at other campuses? No? Okay, but it is an opportunity that's available for you for sure. So what I used to do is take classes in the summer session. Typically, I would take elective courses downtown. Yeah, great question.
And likewise, if you are also looking to pursue extracurriculars, you can also pursue them at all 3 campuses as well. So one thing to remember is that when you do become a student here at U of T, you do get access to all the resources and opportunities across all 3 of our campuses. Now, Inas, we have a question here for students looking to understand kind of what are the options like for living on residence in terms of food? Did you find that you had only a limited amount of options, or what was your favorite spot? And then I would love to hear from Neha and Wen also what your favorite spot on campus is to eat at.
Yeah, so there are multiple places to eat on campus, and I also like how there are multiple food options or vegetarian options, gluten-free options, halal options, because everyone has different dietary restrictions. And personally, my favorite place to eat on campus is this restaurant called Blind Duck. But yeah.
To add on to that, I would say also my favorite spot is the Blind Duck Pub. They offer halal food, and they have relatively cheaper options than other places on campus, and it's really good food. So I would also recommend that.
Right, and funny enough, all 3 of us really love the Blind Duck. Yeah, so adding on to all the information, Blind Duck is actually run by the student himself. So, it's very traditional pub food, and I do very much like their burgers. So.
We have a lot of blind duck pub stands, and I promise you, if you do come to our campus, you'll probably also be a part of that line as well. Now, I also see that we're coming close to time, so if you guys do have any additional questions, please feel free to leave them in the QA. I'm trying my best to be able to address as many as possible. And while we're at it, I would also love to be able to just kind of understand both from Anas, Deha, and Wen. What was your experience like as a student navigating first year? Do you guys have any first pieces of advice for students that you'd like to share? Things that maybe were of a surprise to you, or things that you overcame that were of a fear?
Okay, I guess I can go first. So I think time management is really important when it comes to managing all your courses in first year. I feel like the jump from high school to university can be pretty big, especially if you're moving away from family, because you have all of those additional responsibilities alongside managing your coursework. So definitely time management is the most important thing. And I think if you have a calendar, just making sure you're keeping track of all your deadlines is definitely manageable.
Yeah, so like I would also say time management definitely, and also just putting yourself out there more. So like joining clubs and going to events. It's also a really good way to meet new people, make friends. I made quite a few friends first year that I'm still in contact with all the way in fourth year. So it's really good to just look at the resources available. And if you see any event postings, if you follow social media accounts, like from the UTM SU or like different clubs, you can see the events that they post and attend them. Some of them are even free. And they're also available to other students too. You can grab a friend and also make new friends at these events.
Right, and for me, it's more about like self-discipline. After all, living on our own, had to juggle between academic life as well as personal life. It definitely can get hectic sometimes, but make a plan, stick to it, and eventually it will pay off.
Amazing. And I would also like to take a deeper dive to just kind of understand what is the workload. You guys are all part of different programs. So do you guys have a hybrid system where you're in class a lot? Do you have a lot of online lectures? I'd love to hear from all of you. So again, we'll start off with you, Anas.
Right. So currently all my classes are in person. I do not have any online classes, but I have lectures, I have tutorials, which tutorials are a smaller setting. So 20 to 30 students per tutorial, and lectures are pretty big. So you'll have 100 to 200 students. And then I also have labs in which we work, like it's in computer science labs where we just do assignments on the computers. So in labs are also like tutorials, are 20 to 30 people.
For me too, like all of my classes are online, in person right now. They're fully in person. And I would say that first and second year, usually your classes are quite big. So the class size is quite big. But then as you go upper years, so like third and fourth year, like especially right now, they do get smaller. So right now, most of my courses are about 40 to 50 people. And like Inas mentioned, tutorials are also smaller, and also practicals are also quite smaller. But yes, everything's pretty much in person, but some profs do accommodate, so they will be still recording and posting. So for right now, I do have like a course where it's in person, but the prof records everything and posts it online as well.
Right, and as for me, yeah, same thing. All my classes are in person, as well as tutorials. Maybe one thing, once you get to upper years, your tutorial tends to run a bit later. Some of my tutorial ends at 9 o'clock at night. So, yeah, so make sure you get your dinner soon.
And for Anas and Neha, since you both are kind of in the STEM field, do you guys want to talk about how much of your time is actually dedicated to the lab or being in the computer lab, things of that nature?
Okay, right. So I'll go first. So I only have labs or practicals once a week, and usually I'll spend like 1 to 2 hours per week on the lab. So it doesn't take up too much of my time actually.
So most of my labs actually took place during COVID, so it was online, and they were about 1 to 2 hours as well. So this year, my fourth year, I don't really have any labs anymore for forensics, just regular lecture regular lectures, and they are also about 1 to 2 hours. Sometimes more specific courses will have 3-hour ones, but it's like quite rare, I would say.
Perfect. And now we're going to go in reverse order. I'm going to start with Wen, Neha, and then Anas. But I would love to hear from all of you, what is your favorite part about the UTM campus? We have a lot of international viewers. And so what is something that really, differentiates it and really is the place that you would consider home?
Right. So right about now, what I consider this like the best part of UTM. It's a reading week. For those who don't know what reading week is, it's basically a week before your midterm exam, which we have a week off. So right about now, right after Thanksgiving, the trees are turning in different colors, and it's a beautiful hike as you just walk across campus. And once in a while, we see a bunch of animals, deer, squirrels. One time I even saw a skunk. So yeah, so a lot of nature, a lot of colorful sceneries. This is like the best part of UTM.
For me, I would say the sense of community. I feel like because the campus size isn't too large, you're able to bump into people like everywhere. So it's nice where you might see someone at one building, you might bump into them at a different building, and then you might see them in class as well. So that's also another way you can like make friends. And if you just keep seeing them around, and you're like, oh my god, we're in the same class together, and then you can just study together as well. And stay connected throughout the years. Like I mentioned, I'm still in contact with a lot of people that I met first year in some of my courses. So yeah, just a sense of community, and also the amount of events that we have. It's really nice to have these type of events to meet new people, to even like for some of the clubs too, they also have networking events where they have profs that would come in. I know the criminology department sometimes has this event called Coffee with Profs, where they would have professors from like different courses in the discipline that would come out and meet with students and just have coffee, and students might even take their courses upper years.
Right, for me, it's pretty much the same things. But adding on to that, I love how beautiful UTM's campus is. In my opinion, I think it's the prettiest campus out of all three. It's so green. I love the nature. You can also spot deers on our campus. It's something UTM is very famous for. And I think it's very nice how the nature complements the modern glass buildings. I think the architecture is also really beautiful. So apart from the beauty of the campus, definitely the sense of community over here is really nice. So whenever I'm walking to my classes, I always bump into someone I know. So yeah, I think I've met a lot of people over here that I probably might not have met if I went somewhere else.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Anas, Neha, and Wen, for answering all these questions. And thank you so much to everyone who has asked a question. If we weren't able to answer it, I'm going to be leaving our contact information into the chat.